The Broncos took another major step forward in ending the Chiefs' 9-year run on top of the AFC West. We're going to break that down in all of Week 11 here today on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast.
You are Locked On NFL Scouting with the Draft Dudes, your daily podcast for NFL and college football scouting. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's better than this? It's guys being dudes here on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. We're the Draft Dudes. I'm Joe Marino from Locked On Bills. He's Kyle Crabbs from Locked On Dolphins, and we are your NFL experts here with you daily to talk team building across the league on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast with the Draft Dudes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Want to issue a big thank you, shout out, and welcome to our everydayers. Those of you who never miss a single episode, we appreciate y'all being here very, very much. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you're going to get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app.
Joe, happy Victory Monday to all who celebrate. And sorry to run downstairs to get my caffeine while the intro bumper was on.
Boy, that was nuts. I
hit click to start, and I ran out of here.
You went downstairs?
I went down the stairs, yeah.
Unbelievable.
I was sitting in our foyer.
Kyle said, I'm not going 28 minutes here.
No. No.
Not a little juice.
It's been a morning. And, you know, the nice thing about Miami playing in the international game is the game got done early. But then that just opened the door for more of the things that happen the rest of the NFL day for me to have to do, like actively do.
Yeah.
So, like, it kind of didn't help me. It did help me because, like, my immediate deliverables were done. But then there was more intense work the rest of the way, which we're going to talk about here today on the Monday show. And here's hoping to the Monday show actually running on Monday.
Listen.
Unlike last week.
How about them Denver Broncos? 22-19 winners over the Kansas City Chiefs. 9-2 is Denver. 5-5 are the Chiefs. And that 9-year reign on top of the division. Oh boy, it's going away here. Yeah, this is not shaping up well. It's Andy Reid off the bye. Gotta have it moment. And the Broncos defense gets the last laugh. Bo Nix, 2 huge third down conversions. The big throw to Troy Franklin there at the end. And you get Kansas City in a situation where they can't do anything at the end of the game. They don't have timeouts. Clock is just going away, and they got to hit a chip shot to win the game. That's where you want to be. And so I always am going to think that the Chiefs are dangerous, but my goodness, they're 5-5, and they are 4 games essentially behind Denver here as we finish up Week 11.
Yeah, it's not a great place to be. You've entered into zero margin of error territory if you are the Chiefs. And shoot, they're going to be chasing some teams for playoff spots.
Oh, yeah, 100%. They're not in right now. They're 10 seed right now, or 9 seed, right?
Yeah. Because they lost a head-to-head to Jacksonville. They've lost a lot of head-to-heads against wildcard teams like the Chargers and the Jaguars and
the Bills.
So it's not looking great. And to your point, kind of coming in, it seemed like everything was lined up well for them to take advantage and get this game. From the Broncos side of things, I think you just tip your cap, I think, to they're a team that there's been big plays to make at the end of almost every football game. And they've pretty much made all of them this season, right? Like it feels like the inevitability in close games that the Chiefs had last year, not necessarily like to the same extreme degree where they set a record for like record and wins in one score contests, but they just push the right button at the end of these games, right? And they're a procedural penalty against the Colts away from winning that football game.
Yes.
On the kick at the end where they had a penalty and the Colts got a re-kick and they walked them off in week 2. And then a field goal loss where Justin Herbert has a fourth quarter comeback and hits a dot of a contested throw to Keenan Allen outside of structure to win that football game. So this team's rolling in a lot of ways. Now they get the bye, and Joe, out of the bye, they get at Commanders, at Raiders, their next 2 football games.
The 11-win Broncos, huh?
Congrats on 11-2.
Yeah. 11-2. just keep stacking them. And it's a fun race here for the 1 seed. It looks like it's kind of them, the Colts who were idle this week, and the Patriots who won on Thursday night. And so the teams that we thought would be in that conversation are fighting for playoff spots.
Yeah.
So shout out to whoever had the takes about changing over playoff teams, and we pushed back.
Oh, yeah. We were like, no way, not this team. Yeah, this team.
Yeah.
One team that is currently on the fringe that has a lot of momentum right now is the Baltimore Ravens, who survived a scare against the Cleveland Browns. They were down, 16-10 in the fourth quarter of this game, score 13 points. Shedeur Sanders makes his NFL debut. The Browns get another defensive touchdown. There's 3 interceptions of Lamar Jackson in this game. Carson Schwessinger has 2 of them. Devin Bush ran one back for a touchdown. I don't know how much you got to see Lamar play yesterday.
It's a good Cleveland defense.
It is a good Cleveland defense. But I think Lamar, we had one explosive run for Derrick Henry for 59 yards. That was more than half his yardage on 18 carries.
Yeah.
We're not really getting Zay Flowers had one explosive play. They kept the lid on him otherwise. Lamar didn't really use his legs. Sounds like they was maybe got irritated, a knee injury that he had.
Yeah, I don't think he's all the way right.
Well, he needs to figure it out because you're not going to play Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders every single week.
No. And look, the Steelers, we'll get to the Steelers. I thought that was a huge win that they had in this race.
What's Aaron Rodgers' situation?
Not sure it matters for the Steelers and their outlook. I'm not sure that they're a better football team with him over Mason Rudolph. But I mean, Shedeur comes in and goes 4 of 16, throws a pick. It looks
against
awful.
all odds, third and 10 conversion.
I literally can't. What really? it's the most ridiculous commentary I've ever seen. But Kevin Stefanski saying that Shedeur Sanders hadn't taken a single first team rep since he was drafted is mind blowing to me. I've been to Bills training camp. You ever heard of Shane Buechele? He's never going to make the team.
SMU, Texas.
Yeah, he is. He's the Bills' practice squad quarterback. Never had a prayer of making the roster. He gets first team reps. I've seen it. You're telling me that this guy never did?
Yes, because the Browns had – I almost just dropped an F-bomb on the show. They had 6 quarterbacks in training camp. We're like, oh, look at all the quarterbacks the Browns have. This is cute, and it's not cute because there's too many mouths to feed.
And then with Pickett's on the friggin' Raiders, Flacco's on the Bengals, you get down to Dylan Gabriel. At some point when Shedeur Sanders was your 2 over the last several weeks,
yeah, but you're evaluating another rookie. Rep. You're evaluating another rookie. He needs all the reps he can get.
You're one snap away from the other rookie going in and having to play.
Yeah, they are.
And you're going to give him a chance. And look, I want to see Shedeur have a fair shake. I want to see him have a fair shake. And so for as much as I want to clown on 4 of 16 at a pick for a prospect that I thought was massively overrated, I also recognize that if he hasn't been repped for the job, what am I supposed to expect?
Yeah.
So I hope he gets rep for the job this week and we get a chance to see Shedeur Sanders because you know what? Dylan Gabriel ain't going to be your answer.
Right. When the last time the Browns had more than 200 passing yards in a game was?
Careful. We said this stuff about Bryce Young. He threw for 4 bills.
Well, maybe I'm breathing it into life.
Here it is.
Cleveland Browns
You're going to change the history
the Jets this week.
Here it comes. You're going to change the history of the Browns quarterback. Go ahead, Kyle.
Week 2, 207.
Yeah.
125, 170, 182, 183, 102, 145, 120, and 81. Passing yards for the Browns last 9 games.
The Steelers winning, though, absolutely massive for them to have a chance to keep off Baltimore. So
yeah, and they win in a big way against Cincinnati, right? Do we think Cincinnati's going to have Jamar Chase next week? What are your thoughts on that?
Well,
the spit incident. Ejected. There's a precedent kind of set with Jalen Carter and Dak Prescott, but that happened on the first play of the game, so they just kicked him out of the game and called it a 1-game suspension.
Of course, he's going to miss the Patriots next week. Of course.
Why not?
Of course.
I just want to let you know your audio got a little hotter.
Yeah, because there's things going on outside.
No. Your voice is louder.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
all right,
don't get too emotional.
We got more to do. The graphic on the screen says Sam seeing ghosts. What's that about? We'll
Halloween was 2 weeks ago, Sam Darnold.
Talk about that next. Folks, be sure to stick with us. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for just $15 a month. Mint makes it simple. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can even bring your own phone and keep your same number and contacts. I love that you're getting the same quality service you had before, but for a fraction of the price. The setup is super easy. You keep your number, and then you're up and running in minutes. Ready to say yes to saying no? Make the switch at mintmobile.com/LockedOnNFL. That's mintmobile.com/LockedOnNFL. Upfront payment required of $45. Limited time new customer offer for the first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Ended up being a good game. I want to thank everybody for making the Locked On Podcast Network the number one sports podcast network. We appreciate all of you for tuning in and giving us such an awesome accomplishment and for tuning in every day because it is your teams every day. Rams edge out Seattle 21-19.
Thought this game was going to be ugly when it started, man.
Yeah, because the Rams got on top of them early, but we had Puka gave back a fumble. Seattle ends up just holding the ball, right? I don't think this runs away from it because the Seahawks had 38 minutes time of possession in the game. It's just they kept turning the ball over. Yeah, so credit to Seattle's defense for some bad situations to be put in and surviving, but we can't go -3 in turnover differential against a team like this and expect to have a winning football game.
Kyle, Seattle's given away the ball 3 times or more in 3 of the last 4 games.
Right.
They're turning the ball over 15% of their drives offensively. This is a problem.
It's a concern because of how the season ended last year for Sam. And anytime you get a new environment with a new scheme, right, there's a newness factor. And you're ahead of what teams defensively are figuring out how to try to defend you, right? And I've lived this firsthand, right? Very cutting edge. Some people thought it was reinventing the game of football. They scored 70 points in a game. Oh, my goodness. It was just the Broncos lost like 8 starters this week. They played bad.
Crack toss is hard,
Crack toss is very hard. When teams kind of figure out how to push your buttons, how well do you respond? How long can you stay ahead of that chase of how to defend you? And how quickly can you come up with counterpunches? And that's for Seattle with the turnovers offensively. And Sam Darnold, the question that I think are asking and a little leery about, while also acknowledging, hey, there's a lot of championship caliber elements. That, I think the defense is a championship caliber defense. I think they're that good.
Well, don't let Ernest Jones hear you slander Sam Darnold. He had some pretty big defense of his quarterback after the game. I love that. Yeah, I thought that was super cool. I got to talk about Ethan Evans. Obviously, I mean, one of the greatest, maybe the greatest punt in the history of the NFL. I mean, it went out at like the one inch line.
1 inch line.
And it's like he meant to do it, Kyle. He meant
to do it. An accident. Right, good punts inside the 5 are just accidents. They don't need to put it that close to the goal line. I was told
4 out of 6 punts pinned inside the 20. Obviously, in the biggest moment of the game, makes them go pretty far. They had to rely on a chance for a 61-yard field goal that was nowhere near being made. So Ethan Evans, huge impact in the game. The pride of Wingate University.
There you go.
Yeah, got to give a shout out, man. I went there. My brother went there. My sister went there. So super cool to see him represent the alma mater there. So big win for the Rams. Obviously, they're 8-2. Seattle 7-3. Big moment for them. Kind of. Well, I mean, San Francisco's right there as well. Welcome back, Brock Purdy. But the Rams kind of in the driver's seat here. It feels like.
Yeah, it's getting this one to move to 8-2. They continue to keep pace with Philadelphia at the top of the NFC standings. Obviously, Philadelphia won the head-to-head courtesy of a billion block field goals in week 3. But I look at, kind of in light of what we talked about with the Broncos, I look at the Rams' schedule the rest of the way. They get Tampa at home, who's put up some points. We could talk about Tampa next. At Carolina, at Arizona. Then they got at Atlanta and Arizona again in the last 6 weeks. So 4 of their last 6 games for the Rams are at Carolina, at Arizona, at Atlanta, and Arizona at home. They're gonna get the wins.
You want to touch on San Francisco real quick?
Finish the NFC West.
Yeah, I mean Arizona. That was obviously a divisional game. That the whole division played each other. Jacoby Brissett, he completed 47 passes.
Yep.
But ultimately the 49ers, behind Brock Purdy, coming in and 3 touchdown passes, highly efficient. They get a big long run from Christian McCaffrey. George Kittle kind of takes over. And, obviously I think Arizona has to be able to run the ball. 14 rushes for 36 yards. They had no ability to control this game. And San Francisco is 7-4. Like, all things considered, they're 7-4. And they'll have a chance to play the Rams. No, they've already played them. They split that season series, right? Mm-hmm. So this is a fun race. We kind of figured it would be. I don't think any team should consider themselves out of it, but obviously San Francisco getting Purdy back, winning, kind of having some style points about it, feels good for them.
This is just the second consecutive game for Arizona where I don't feel like the game script gave them a chance. Right? You can't fall behind 13-0 and 28-10 against San Francisco, because your best outlook was probably against a banged up defensive line and no Fred Warner to try to load up and mash the football, right? And instead, we got to throw the ball 57 times with no Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
And, right, shout out Michael Wilson for a monster performance from a production standpoint, and Trey McBride did the thing with 100 yards and a touchdown again. But that's not really how the team has been engineered to play. Case in point, we went through the entire offseason wondering, hey, when are they going to make their investments on the offensive side of the ball to give them a new layer? And it never happened. Yeah.
It's a tough scene. All right. Shall we go to the NFC South a little bit? You mentioned the Bucs. Saw that one. You saw a very interesting.
Yeah. I saw a lot of points is what I saw.
There's a lot of points. The Bills was a 44-32.
44-32.
And you saw the Bills say, yeah, we don't really care about efficiency anymore. We're just going to have Josh Allen do Josh Allen things. It felt like I was watching the Bills from like 2020 through 2023. Just you live with some of the chaos. Josh had 2 goofy interceptions, but he scored 6 touchdowns, had some big throws down the field. You get the big plays and the big moments defensively. It was kind of that vintage Bills script that you feel like Sean McDermott hates and loves all at the same time.
This was Josh Allen woke up on Sunday morning, and he looked at his quota for touchdowns against teams from South Florida this season and said, well, this simply just won't do. So I'll have to settle for touchdowns against Florida teams and put up 6 touchdowns.
Jeez.
Yeah, man, it really inspired play from him throughout the course of the game, haymaker after haymaker. And when you got, it was into the fourth quarter, really, when the Sean Tucker touchdown happened and they took the lead back again, and you're riding this really intense seesaw of going back and forth. You're just kind of waiting for who's going to blink. And Tampa's early season play had you feeling Tampa might not be the team that blinks.
Right.
But the entire body of work of who Buffalo has been since Josh Allen progressed from his rookie and second season and made that third-year leap, you kind of expected. They're at home. It's a gotta-have-it kind of game. There's a lot on the line. They're not going to be the team to blink. And sure enough, Cole Bishop continuing his all-pro stretch here in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
It's an outstanding play to undercut that route and get an interception on that play. Shout out to Buffalo, man. Like, you play this style of game, you might have to play a little bit more high variance play, but I think this is probably how you have to play to give yourself a chance to
because of the run defense.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest.
Because they don't have the defensive linemen that they were hoping they were going to have this season.
No, the Bucs were down their two starting guards and their starting running back, and tagged the Bills for 202 yards in average, over 5 yards per carry.
Yeah.
The Bills have to overcome their defense, their run defense in particular, and I think the way you do it is just score. You can't. Yep. I don't think you could. I think contrasting this week versus last week against Miami, where the Bills try to be their efficient team, and when you don't get stops and when you make mistakes, you don't have the wiggle room.
Yeah.
I think you have
really
to embrace
everything else. Yeah.
You got to embrace a little bit of the chaos, and in that chaos, you get some really high level Josh Allen moments, and you wind up winning a thrilling, chaotic shootout, 44-32. All right, the Bears do it again. On top of the NFC North. We'll consider that and the rest of the action here next, folks. Be sure to stick with us. The NBA is back, and so is the landscaping company outside my door blowing leaves. And there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team is making that late push. I was watching Dolphins and Commanders on Sunday morning. Kyle, I didn't want to tell you this, but I had a little action over at FanDuel on the Dolphins covering 2.5 and the over on Devon Achan's.
He got you. Whatever it was, he got you.
So I once again, I'll tell you what, I do pretty good on Dolphins props. So I'll keep leaning into those. So check it out. It makes every game more exciting. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
The Bears did it again. Another come from behind. You got a lot of leaves, huh?
Brother, it's an unbelievable situation right now. Battling this the whole friggin' show, man.
So Chicago has they have tied the most wins that they have had in a regular season in the last 5 years already. Through 10 games, they have as many wins as they've had in any year in the last 5 years. With one more win, you will have to go back to the 12-4 Matt Nagy, Mitchell Trubisky group for a team that had more wins. And Chicago mathematically is going to have a chance to push for that kind of win total because they keep doing the thing. The last 3 games have been one-score wins for them, and it's all late, right? Like they continue to they had this one with a big lead. They were up 16-3. They need the 48-yard field goal to walk off. It was one of, 5 games got walked off on the last play yesterday?
There's a few, yeah.
So credit to Chicago for not blinking despite J.J. McCarthy trying to do the thing to them that they've been doing to everybody else this season.
Big return by Duvernay. The Bears are hard for me, dude. Like, I don't think they're a 7-3 football team. I think they're massively paper tigers, and maybe I'll look super silly for this. I don't take them seriously. I really don't. I mean, they're pulling off goofy wins against bad teams over and over and over and over again. But they just keep doing it, I guess, right?
So how do they qualify for the Denny this week? How can we make them qualify for the Denny? Or do you have a candidate for the Denny? The Denny Green, of course, the infamous press conference soundbite, they are who we thought they were.
I feel like there's probably a Jack Jones, Marcus Mariota opportunity here.
Okay. Oh, yeah, with what he said after the game? Yeah. All right, so we'll finish Chicago. Minnesota, I think, unfortunately, they're just going to continue to be a very unpredictable game. From Chicago's standpoint, we'll find out, right? They got at Philadelphia, at Green Bay, starting on Black Friday. There is a back-to-back stretch for them. They got Green Bay twice in 3 weeks. Caleb Williams gets to play the Browns sandwiched in between those 2 games against the Packers and see what he looks like against that defense. And then finish at San Francisco, Detroit. So we've pointed to the Broncos and the Colts and said, hey, in November, we're going to really find out what these teams are all about. I think we just have to wait for December for Chicago because they're going to get a chance for some statement wins. You give them credit for how they found ways to pull some of these games out. But to your point, and this is, again, not to take anything away from a 7-3 record, but We had a 1-point win against the Raiders. We had a 1-point win against the Commanders. We had a 4-point win against the Giants, and now we have a 2-point win against the Vikings. Is some of the wins that Chicago.
You don't have them give them back. They're all good.
Nope.
It's year one for Ben Johnson. It's all really good. But if I'm taking you seriously as a team that's going to go into this NFC playoff field and rip off a run here, boy, I'd be stunned. I'd be absolutely stunned.
They can run the football, though. I'll give them that.
It's huge. Yeah.
They can run the football.
But that's probably the only above average function of their football team outside of being able to scrape out wins, which I guess is the most important thing you can do.
I know Roma Dunze is a nice player. He's become a nice.
I'm just saying overall function, run defense, pass offense.
They're second and third down defense this season.
Yes, they are. And if I was going up against these quarterbacks, I'd have a chance of that too.
Okay. So we'll find out in Chicago in December.
I mean, do the inventory on the quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Come on,
they might get Mason Rudolph next week.
Yeah, be right in line, and then I'm sure.
Did we talk Pittsburgh really?
We talked about how meaningful it was that they won the game. Yeah.
Okay. Miami and Washington in the game that felt like nobody really wanted to win in the final 6 minutes because everybody was trading chances to go for it.
Where are you on those decisions at the end there?
For which team? Because both of them went for it and both of them didn't get it, right?
Sure. Did you, at any point in time, did you think that these going for it? How many times do we have to have these goal-to-goal moments just completely fail? It was like throughout the whole game on both sides.
And Dan Campbell watched that whole thing happen.
And he said,
I'm going to go for every fourth down chance I can get.
Jeez.
And I'm not going to get a single one of them while Jared Goff plays probably the worst game he's played since his rookie season. He was awful last night. I didn't mind the decision to go for it with Miami with 1:44 left because they had 3 timeouts. If they didn't get it, in theory, if you get a stop defensively, you could use your timeouts to get the ball back. That's what they tried to do. The value of not getting
Can I pause you right there, though?
Yes. Take your first timeout. That's Mike McDaniel style. There you go.
This is my issue with it. Dude, Marcus Mariota and that offense looked horrible. The Dolphins defense legitimately good. Get to 3, and worst case scenario, they make a field goal and you go to overtime. Mariota's not leading the drive there to win the game.
They scored a touchdown in the game.
They scored a touchdown in the game.
Yeah.
But based on just the momentum of your defense.
Right. So would I rather not get it and give the ball with 1:44 left to Washington on my own 1-yard line and dare them to go down into position to score? Or would I take 3 points and then put the risk of some weird thing happening on special teams and the boosted field position where, depending on if you miss kick it, if you give up a return, they could be near midfield with 1:30 left or 1:40 or 1:38 left.
Matt Gay already missed a couple field goals. He's not that good.
I
don't know, man.
I don't mind it, but I thought their play sequencing leading up to in that goal-to-go situation was what I took exception to. I'm sorry, your 4th down run with the hammer to Ollie Gordon, that needs to be the 3rd down play. Why are we giving Devon Achane the ball at 185 pounds dripping wet on 3rd and goal from the 1.5? Because he's a pass threat. I don't know. Give me a break.
Has any of them been consistent in the short yardage stuff?
They've been very good in short yardage all season.
Until this game.
When Ollie Gordon has carried the football.
Well, I like Jalen Wright got the first one. Jalen Wright got a carry before Ollie Gordon in this game. It's time to build around him.
Stop.
It's fine.
So
for those that don't know, I'm the owner of Jalen Wright, and it's not going well.
I took exception to the micro decisions within the macro way that they handled that moment. But Denny of the week, Jordan Brooks came out after the game and said, Jack Jones told us, y'all stop the run. Marcus Mariota's going to throw one right to me because he can't throw.
Jeez.
And the first play of overtime,
jeez,
Jack Jones undercuts a crosser to Zach Ertz for an interception.
They got Jack Jones on about the goofiest DPI call I've ever seen until I watched the Sunday night game.
Right. And what a great segue that is to the Sunday night game. But yeah, I mean, that wouldn't have been DPI on Jack Jones if Deebo Samuel was 13 feet tall. That still wouldn't have been DPI.
I think I have a take I'll save for Friday on
Okay.
DPI. I think I have something on that. But okay. Did we Eagles defensive struggle? Neither offense had a prayer.
Eagles defense, the best individual unit in football right now?
It's hard to argue against it, mate. I mean, Denver might want to talk about their defense, but this Philly defense is pretty exceptional.
I mean, what Philly is doing despite only having 10 takeaways in 10 games is really spectacular stuff. I mean, they've really put the screws on teams running the ball. After the first 6 weeks, they were terrible. The Giants ran for 172. The Broncos ran for 130. The Rams ran for 160. And now they're 89 to the Vikings, 68 in the rematch against the Giants. The Packers ran for 104, and the Detroit, of all teams, ran for 74.
Yeah.
In a game that was never got away. But Jared Goff, man, you want to talk about an uncomfortable football game.
Yeah, their guard play's not good, right?
Yeah. And that plus some of the field position stuff that I thought Detroit perpetually put themselves in, right? It was
0 for 5.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go for it at the 40, and then they'll punt it, and we'll start back in our own territory again, and then we'll stall out at the 40, and then we'll go for it again, and we won't get it. It was
3 of 18 on possession downs, dude. 3 of 18.
Yeah, it was a trudge all game. And I get that it was windy, right? It was 15-mile-per-hour gusts and whatnot. And yeah, it was, I don't think Detroit helped themselves, but if you're going to be that aggressive, Jared Goff's got to play a better game than what he played.
Yeah.
I mean, where did Amon-Ra St. Brown go in this game? 12 targets, 2 catches.
Some concern about Sam Laporta if he's even going to come back this year.
Can't afford that, especially if J-Mo is going to be a knucklehead sliding down the uprights.
That's a big deal. I mean, he missed the extra points.
Yeah, yes, I'm aware. I was sweating on my fantasy matchup because I had the Detroit kicker and I lost points. And I'm going against Jalen Hurts, trying to hold off Jalen Hurts, and the kicker misses the extra point because J-Mo slid down the pile.
We didn't talk Packers, Giants, or Chargers, Jaguars. Jaguars kill the Chargers. Absolute stinker of a performance.
After we just got done talking about the Chargers' offensive line and, they're not going to be able to handle this matchup. And then they come out and they smoke the Steelers. And we're like, I'm not falling for that again. What do you think ends up happening?
Right.
The thing we thought was going to happen the week prior is what happened to the Chargers.
Packers survive the Giants. Jameis does the Jameis thing.
Christian Watson, 2 tuds.
Huge, yeah. Some
I
crazy
think Jordan
plays.
Love needs a receiver like that right now. Is just somebody with a catch radius to put it around him and give him a shot. Yeah, because we just need some guys to win some one-on-one matchups at the catch point for Green Bay right now.
Texans survived the Titans 16-13. Game-winning field goal there at the end was it Matthew Wright? Is that who it was? Is that the kicker for the Texans? Am I getting this correct?
Is that a factual statement? I'm going to pull it up right now.
Yes, Matthew Wright.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, he makes the field goal. Davis Mills gets another win, another fourth quarter comeback, another game-winning drive.
Yeah. I was bummed to see Tennessee. Cam Ward mounts a late touchdown.
Big throw, dude, there at the end. Yeah,
I was bummed to see that not pay off for him. And the only other game was keep pounding. Carolina, Bryce Young threw all the yards.
400-something yards.
Falcons.
Man. Yikes.
They're going streaking in the bad kind of way.
And
now the Rams have a top 8 pick right now for James Pierce.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we'll end on that note. Kyle Crabbs, Joe Marino. We appreciate you guys for checking out Locked On NFL Scouting. That's it for us. We are done. We hope to see you all again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Enjoy Monday Night Football. We'll talk to you all again soon.